Okay, fellas, let's play Wheel and Deal. I have here for you, Fred, a large box.
Forget the box, I'll take the girl.
With the world in anticipation of the arrival of Donald Trump into the White House for a second time, there's something that I want people to be on alert for. Because the losers of the back and forth with the red versus blue and the left versus right are not finished. They're not finished. They're going to be looking to gather more support than they have before. And the left is going to want people to forget what they've been doing these past 4 to 5 years. And the shenanigans and the devilishment of Donald Trump and his administration is going to bring legitimacy to the side that will be hoping that we forget the demonology that they've been putting into the world these past 4 to 5 years. And they're going to be reaching out to people and showing up on platforms that they didn't need before. They're not finished. And one of the things that they're not going to give up on are their acronyms. DEI, CRT, ESG, CBDC, and other acronyms like CEI, which stands for Corporate Equity Index. All of those acronyms, they score businesses on how well they do as they're ordered to do. And all of the acronyms I mentioned and the ones I didn't are all designed to crumble societies, economically and otherwise. In what otherwise? In all otherwise. In all ways. All things they want destroyed or turned upside down on his head.
No more magic and no more riddles, all right? She's dead!
That's the aim of this commentary right there. Remember the golden child? He trying to rescue some kid and he would have to go talk to that lady who sounded all sweet. Then he had enough of her sweet talk and snatched the curtain back and saw it was a dragon back there. I'm doing that today because I feel people need to be on alert for the left. The left are believers in those acronyms that I mentioned. And one of the things that they do to trick people into believing that along with them is to simply repeat the theme of the acronyms. To convince people that these acronyms are not the devil himself and are actually helpful and harmless, they'll simply read the label that's on them. Like this.
Do you believe schools should be teaching critical race theory?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
I feel like honestly it brings about more racism.
Well, at least you admit that racism does exist. You're just apparently against teaching the ways in which it exists. Oh, so you actually don't even know why you're against it.
Can you explain it a little bit to me, honestly?
Yeah.
I would be glad to explain what CRT is for you. I mean, if you're gonna hate something, you gotta know why you hate it, right? At its core, critical race theory explores the question, how have our laws, policies, and institutions been shaped by racism? How has racism affected the systems of our country? And how does it still impact people today? It dives into segregation, redlining, and yes, even slavery. It reviews data, statistics, legal rulings. It is educational. It is not accusatory. It's a legitimate academic program. So I really don't understand the issue. Like, why would anybody have an issue with becoming educated on such an important part of our culture and such a huge part of our American history? Like, what are you afraid that people will learn? But anyways, at least now you know what it is that you disagree with.
Now, didn't that sound nice and beautiful and surrounded by sweet, wholesome goodness and purity? Yes, of course it did. But the reality of it is, it's the devil's word. Especially the part where he said, why would anybody have a problem with being educated on such matters that are so important to our culture? It's the devil in disguise. CRT is the devil's work, along with his siblings, DEI, and the rest of the acronyms. And let me show you what he just did with that question, why would anybody have a problem with blah, blah, blah?
We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr? Sure. Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good
having
morning.
me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender, and
Yes,
you're
I
a
am.
gay rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual. How can I describe you?
I am Pepe Julian Onzima. I'm an LGBTI
What's that?
activist. I'm a human rights defender. I'll get to what it is. I'm a human rights defender.
The host is calling her a gay rights activist. And that's what she is. But you heard her hide her agenda by way of saying, I'm a human rights activist. And this happened several times during the interview/discussion. Here's another time that it happened.
We're on the same page.
Why don't you fight for heteros as well?
What do you mean?
Heterosexuals.
What do you mean? Fight for
takimanyi
heterosexuals?
nakimanya.
Why
What do you
wouldn't
mean fighting for
for their
heterosexuals?
rights? Yeah, for their rights.
They are so. I am a human rights defender. I'm
Wuliriza,
not limited.
Sodome
I am
defender.
not limited.
You
I
are
am
an
not
activist for LGBTI.
I am an
Lesbians,
activist.
gays,
Bisexual, abo bonna
transgender,
abagwagwa.
and intersexuals.
Ono yabakwatira
Let me tell
bendera.
you something.
Where's the H?
Human
Bo
rights.
bakwatira
I
bendera.
told you earlier.
And that went on and on, off and on during the show. They say it's not gay rights, it's human rights. And if you have a problem with their movement, they can say you're against human rights, like the dude asks, why would anybody have a problem with education? They all do that with their acronyms. They all hide behind something. Like the lady Pepe is her name. Like she hid her agenda behind human rights. They'll guilt trip you, try to make you feel bad. DEI, oh, why would you have a problem with people being treated fairly? What's wrong with you? They do stuff like that. ESG, oh, why do you have a problem with us wanting to clean up the environment? What's the matter with us? What's the matter with us wanting to purify our lakes and streams and making air breathable? What's your problem with that? Meanwhile, those programs are not meant to do no such a thing. Those programs are meant to destroy. Those acronyms, those programs, those are New World Order agenda programs. But the host, he saw through what Pepe was trying to do, and toward the end of the show, he had had enough of her hiding behind the label of human rights.
Transgender. You were initially male or female?
The sex that was assigned to me at birth was female.
And you opted to become male?
Not exactly opting. It's something that I have been since I was young. But yeah, in terms of expression, it's who I am now.
How did you discover that you're actually meant to be male?
Well, growing up, you know, a child is born, and when you're growing up, you're within a society that has a certain structure, yeah? And you see yourself basically fitting more in a certain box. I said I was born female, but my expression at that time and my internal sense of myself was male.
So have you realigned yourself into being a male, or you still share both sexes?
I am within transition.
You're within transition?
Yes.
Now we're looking at the raging debate. You're a gay rights activist. Why should someone be gay?
Just for the record, I am not a gay rights activist. I believe there's nothing like gay rights. There is human rights.
That's what we're doing. The aim of this commentary, not falling for the label or the theme. We're asking, where is the H? You said you are for human rights? Okay, where is the H in your lettering?
Listen, what's behind that curtain there?
I can't tell you that.
Tell me what? You what?
I can't tell you that.
What are you, a bigot?
When the proponents of the demonology want people to go along with the trickery, they will read the label to you, or they'll repeat the theme. But while they're doing that, you should be like him.
Environmentally friendly, all natural, eco-safe, non-toxic, green. What do all these words have in common? They're The past few years have seen a huge boom in searches for environmentally friendly products and services, which on the one hand is amazing because it means individuals care more than ever about the planet. But as a result, it's led to a massive industry and the rise of green marketing or greenwashing, some of which is specifically designed to trick consumers in order to simply sell more products. But no more, it's time to call them out with the 7 sins of greenwashing. First up, we have the sin of the hidden trade-off. This is when a company highlights the importance of fixing one environmental issue while potentially hiding a more concerning one. Let's take Nestle, for example. Oh, Nestle, the company that takes water from my hometown's aquifer, wraps it in plastic, and sells it around the world. Ooh, the company that took spring water 120 miles from Flint, Michigan for their water bottles while Michigan was suffering a major lead contamination water crisis. How cute. Packaging that focuses on what's not in the product can often be a red flag, as it's often used to distract you from the actual ingredient list, while in cosmetics, they often focus on one specific natural ingredient to give the illusion that the other ingredients are not harmful to you or the planet.
While they're reading the label and repeating the theme, you will already know that that's just what the label says, or that's only what the theme is. The label says all natural ingredients, but that's only what it says. Like they've been busting these places like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's with these fake organic labels on their products. It says organic, but it's really rubber or plastic.
Good evening. Usually I talk with you from my office in the West Wing of the White House, but tonight there's something special to talk about, and I've asked someone very special to join me. Nancy and I are here in the West Hall of the White House, and around us are the rooms in which we live. It's the home you've provided for us, of which we merely have temporary custody. Nancy's joining me because the message this evening is not my message, but ours. And we speak to you not simply as fellow citizens, but as fellow parents and grandparents and as concerned neighbors. It's back to school time for America's children, and while drug and alcohol abuse cuts across all generations, it's especially damaging to the young people on whom our future depends. So tonight, from our family to yours, from our home to yours, thank you for joining us.
We all know what that really meant. And we especially know how the slogan "War on Drugs" turned out.
And this is gonna do it. And make us rich.
But these people will be expecting for people to accept their acronyms at face value. Make America Great Again. Sounds nice too. It does sound nice. Because what could be wrong with wanting where you reside to be great? What could be wrong with that? But you, the ones who I'm talking about, only wants people to understand the real meaning behind slogans like "Make America Great Again." You want people to read between the lines when it comes to stuff like that. Meanwhile, you want for people to only see DEI, CRT, ESG, and the other stuff as is. No, don't look into those things. No, don't see what's behind the curtain on those acronyms. Just take them at face value.
I can't tell you that.
What are you, a bigot?
It's up to you, and there's only one way to find out.
What?
The box or the curtain.
Well, I ain't taking no chances.
Oh, hold it. You can't go down. No, wait a minute. You can't.
American made. That's a label or a theme that sounds nice. It does. It's American made sounds nice to me too. But how much does American wages cost? American labor cost is high as hell, but the hollering is about how much they want things to be American made. while at the same time complaining about how high things are right now. Like I said, the theme sounds nice to me too. American made sounds delicious. But what's behind that would be my banana split costing $7 instead of the $3.50 it was the last time I bought a banana split. Matter of fact, American made would make my banana split cost $11 instead of $7. And I keep complaining about the banana split because I was genuinely pissed off when the lady told me how much it was after she made it for me. I've complained about that in a few videos already. But these acronym people will only ask for people to lift the veil on themes like Make America Great Again or American Made. But their slogans, their acronyms, their labeling, their themes, their mantras, they'll try to shame you for lifting the skirt on them. And like I said earlier, they're going to be looking for more support, and they'll likely be using things like Project 2025 to scare people into joining them in their demonology that they expect people to forget. The purpose of this commentary and what you should be looking to do.